Pink Floyd played in Moscow in 1989, I think, just about the time of Glasnost. We were probably about the first Western band into Moscow at that particular period of Glasnost. And so, we had a nice, lovely time in Moscow. It's a beautiful city, and we were treated wonderfully. And it's just unbelievable to think of what's going on currently. Basically, the start of it is someone showing me an Instagram feed from this singer called Andrei Klyuvnik, who's of a Ukrainian band Boombox, and he is in a square in Kiev wearing military fatigues and carrying a gun, and he just bursts into this song a cappella, and with all the Ukraine stuff going on, it just struck me that as it's a cappella, one can turn this into something lovely, a beautiful song. By coincidence, the band Boombox that this guy is a singer from, we played a benefit concert for in 2015 for the Belarus Free Theatre, and they were my backing band on that night for several numbers. So, and this guy, Andrei Klyuvnik, has quit his American tour in the middle and gone back home to fight for his home country in Kiev. I've spoken to him. I said, "Is this okay?" And he said, "Fine." I spoke to him actually from his hospital bed, strangely, where he had a pretty minor injury from a bit of mortar shrapnel on his face. So he's right there on the front line. And so I started mapping this whole thing out, and then I thought that maybe the Pink Floyd, we should do this as a thing for Ukraine, for morale boosting, for peace, to show our sort of, I suppose, anger at what's been going on, and a superpower invading a peaceful nation. So I rang Nick Mason up. I said, "Nick, do you want to take part in a song for Ukraine?" And he said, "Yeah, love to." So I got Nick on board, and I got Guy Pratt, who's been part of our setup for 30-something years, and I got Nishinsonian, who's an old friend and this great keyboard player, and they all came down here to the farm, and we recorded it in the barn. My daughter-in-law is from Ukraine, so therefore my granddaughters, her daughters, and Charlie's daughters are half Ukrainian. So I feel a little bit of family sympathy with the whole situation. But the idea of Putin's Russia invading a peaceful nation for no good reason, and there is no possible good reason for invading. There's discourse, there's discussion. If there's any problems, talk about it. Don't send in tanks and shells. It's just absolutely infuriating and frustrating with our powerlessness and the powerlessness of the West in general to actually do something really concrete about it. I mean, I'm sure we are doing our best. I mean, and I mean the Western world, America and Europe, in providing all the horrible weaponry to help this defense continue. But but we still, or I still, and I imagine President Biden and Macron and all the leaders of the world nations are feeling as frustrated and as powerless as I am. There are, I think they say 4 or 5 million people have left Ukraine, They all are people who will need housing, maybe only temporarily, but we don't know what temporarily means in this circumstance. I mean, how long Ukraine will be under siege like this is anyone's guess. But so those people should be welcomed and helped and given places to live for the time being, at least, or if they want to stay forever, I'm sure we could fit a few in quite easily. I hope it gets some scrutiny, and that's what it's for. Um, if Nick and I, as the two members of Pink Floyd, feel like that's what we ought to do, or what we owe the world, then that is what we should do, and it's what we've done. We haven't even thought about doing live shows. I suppose it's a possibility, but I haven't done one for such a long time. But who knows? I don't know.